Rico and Carla is about to go live online. Catch all out monster hit music, all out celebrity interviews, all out showbiz and sports news, all out fun, and exclusive on the Monster. Catch the stream on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your all out hosts, Rico Robles and Carla Aguas. Stand by and enjoy the program.
All right, it's Monster RX93.1. My name is Rico Robles. You know how it is. It's all about all out. And we got none other than Pink Sweats joining us. He is joining us from his studio, just taking time off to actually talk to us about what's going to be dropping. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up?
You know, how are things, man? You know, everything is pretty much back to normal where you're at. But here in Asia, we're still, you know, some sort of lockdown. But how's everything so far?
Man, everything's going a lot better, a lot more smooth. We still got little bumpy places here and there, but overall, I'm just so blessed. I'm so grateful that I get to, you know, get back out there on the road. I'm starting my U.S. tour in a couple of days, in like 4 or 5 days. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited, man. And I'm a little bit nervous too. So.
I mean, you know, when it comes to getting back on stage, you know, when you first got back on stage after all of it, all the lockdown and everything, you know, what was that feeling? What was that, you know, can you walk us through it? How you approached the stage and what was the first words that you said out there?
I would say the way I felt was honestly like a rush of, wow, okay, I'm doing this again. Because a lot of people don't, they might know, but they probably don't realize like I haven't been performing that long. So right when things kind of stopped, that's when I was feeling like I was really being really confident and I was starting to get my footing. And then it kind of stopped. So then it's like going back out was like, okay, am I starting from scratch? Because I really don't know. You know, I don't know if that's like a muscle reflex where it's like, once you do it like a bike, you know how they say you never forget to ride a bike.
True.
But it felt like a bike. It felt like, okay, once I got out there and I put myself back in that situation, I was like, okay, cool. I'm feeling it, you know? Because like everyone's good at practice. It's something different when you're standing in front of people and, you know, you're trying not to make eye contact with someone because you don't want to mess up your words or like things like that.
And you don't want to, you know, for example, if you're starting a 10-song set, you don't want to go off too fast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got to pace yourself because you be real tired. If you go all the way out, then you got a slow song that's like, and I actually sing on my sets. So sometimes it's like, if you go all out on one song and it could be a fast song, then you got like 2-second break, then it could be like a really slow song. And it's like, you can hear every breath if you're like doing a slow song. It's like, it's just like
you got area, as they say. But you know, when it comes to that, when we're about to go on tour, do you get up in shape? Do you run the extra miles? Do you prepare for that? Or is it more of just you just go on as the tour progresses, then you build endurance from there?
I eat as much food as I pop. No, I was kidding. Honestly, what I like to do is I always inch up through push-ups. That's like me and my band. We'll just like, when we're together, just like bang them out. Boom, 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 boom. Start doing push-ups and then it'll start being more frequent. And then I'll start to like do a little cardio, adding that in there. Then throughout the set, trying to figure out the peaks and the lows of where like I can exert a lot of energy here and then I can kind of coast on this song. And, you know, it's a lot. A lot of people, it's almost like doing a sporting event because you're like going back and forth on the stage.
You got to work the whole stage, right? It can't just be standing in one place because it is a full musical experience. Now, you know, the album, I know you're going to have it early next year. We're excited for it, you know, for the fans. What's to expect? Are you adding more tracks to the album or is it already set? You're just going to drop it?
So the album Pink Planet is set. The project that I have coming out next is called Pink Moon. So the Pink Moon tour is happening in 5 days. But that's just to prepare people for the actual Pink Moon project. And man, I'm so excited. I wish I could like give more previews of this music. It's so good. It's like I'm so proud of this body of work, and I got to work with a lot of amazing artists that I actually admire. So,
you know, here on the show, we do have all out questions where we ask you random questions, and you want to get to know you more as well. You know, being a songwriter and all, you know, you're getting on tour, you're getting your name out there. Who's the most famous person you've met so far?
Oh, I would say Justin Bieber. Probably the most famous person. I don't think who's more famous than Justin Bieber. I don't know.
True that, and you know, with it, who was the artist or who was the famous person you were surprised that knew your songs, that are big fans of yours?
Honestly, at first I was like Justin Bieber. I was very, very shocked that he listened to my music. Who else? Diddy. Diddy. Someone had told me, they was like, yo, he was jamming your music. And then when I actually met him, we talked about music and stuff. I was like, wow, this is like very crazy to me. It's an honor, it's a blessing. Like, and a couple of my friends in K-pop world who I like became friends with, like my boy Bam Bam. Like people just like anybody listen to my music, I'm always shocked because I'm like, man, like I used to make music in my basement or like my friend's basement. So it's kind of like for anybody to like my music, I'm always like, man, I'm so grateful that like people take what I do seriously.
Now, you know, you did mention, you know, creating music off of your basement when you were starting out. Now, when did you realize like, yo, I could do something with this? Like, this is something that I'm gonna be doing, that I'm gonna be touring the world. Now we made millions of dollars with.
I never really came to that point. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm a rebellious spirit, so it's like I don't like rules. So even if I don't really believe that I can break it, I'm always gonna try. And I feel like one of my friends, he was like, he's an artist too, and at the time he was like he was going through a lot of stuff. And I remember thinking, I was just manifesting my life. Like sometimes I'll just say things, and I don't know if you ever done this, but where you might not really believe it in that time, but you're saying it so that you eventually do believe it. And I remember I said like, I'm gonna do a certain kind of deal. I was like, I'm gonna do a multi-million-dollar deal, and I just became an artist. I'm so like, I could see how it was insulting to him because he's been an artist for a long time. But I was just trying to convince myself that like I'm not a psycho. So I was just like manifesting. I was like, I'm gonna do a multi-million-dollar deal, and I'm gonna really take this thing serious. And I remember he was like, bro, like I've been doing this long, and you think you can really do that? Like if I can't do it, kind of thing. And this is exclusive. I never said this story anywhere ever. And it kind of just triggered me. I was like, man, now I gotta do it. Like I have to go hard and like make
you got to prove them wrong, right? You got to prove them wrong.
Yeah, like I'm just that kind of person. Like I like to prove people wrong. I don't know if that's good or bad, but in that instance, I was like, yeah, I have to do it now. That's a challenge in front of me, and
And do you have any message for those that are trying to make it? Because I know everybody got their timeline, whether some do it at a shorter time, some do it at a longer time. Do you have any message for those that are about to give up and they're like, oh man, I can't crack a good song in here. You know what I mean?
I'll say something that someone told me. If you wouldn't be doing it for free, then don't do it. Because a lot of times we focus on the outcome of doing music. And like, you know, you see the Pink Sweats or shoot, even like the Justin Biebers of the world, and you see what they have, and you say, oh man, I can't wait to get those things. But a lot of times the things you're willing to do for free are the things that kind of the universe will reward you. The things later. Because like I would have done music. I did do music. I would have done music for all my life for free. I probably would have had to get a couple jobs to support the habit, but the love was already there in my heart where it's like, it's not even about the money. I really love music. So if I hit the lottery tomorrow and I won $1 billion, I wouldn't stop doing music just because I got $1 billion. I really would still be in the studio. I would go about my life the exact same.
Just get really a bigger studio, right?
Yeah.
But,
you know, if you're not willing to do something free, then find something else, because that means you don't really love that thing, you know.
That's some great advice, man. I'm taking note of this. And now when it comes to songwriting, is there like, for example, if you're a beginner, you're starting out as a songwriter, is there any specific chords that we could use just to stick by? Is it the DAGAs of the guitar world? What's a specific chord that we could use to actually somehow create a hit?
I wouldn't say any specific chords, because I hate when people used to give me that advice, because it boxes you in. I will say this, as a songwriter, learn to tell stories that relate to masses of people. And that's the artistic piece of being a songwriter, is that one, I'm so blessed that we're even having this conversation. I'm from West Philly. Funny enough, I don't know if you ever heard of the Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
that's where I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. And I wrote a song that can make it all the way to Asia. Because whatever it is about my message is not exclusive to West Philadelphia. Love is universal. You know, so as a songwriter, I try to tell people to find something that everyone can relate to, because you broaden your scope so much. Like I listen to some music, I don't even understand the language, but it's a feeling that's there. That's like
the emotion that it captures. Right?
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
So try to captivate people through a story.
You know, you were talking about manifestations earlier. Now, when you were starting out your career, and now, you know, of course, you got to draw out the bigger picture, the ultimate goal. Have you reached it? If you haven't yet, what's that ultimate goal that you would want to reach, that you'd be like, all right, cool, I'm successful now? Is it the Walk of Fame? Is it 10 Grammy Awards? What is it?
Honestly, I won't say the specific goal I had, because I don't want to be like gaudy or anything. But I feel like my goals are really small. Now that I've reached my goals, I was like, man, like I wasn't thinking big enough, because when you don't have anything, you think that, oh, reaching this one thing, I'll be happy, or I'll be like there. So like, I feel like I reached all of my goals, and then I looked around and I was like, wow, like one, that was just enough for me. Now I want to do more for my friends, my family. And so that adds another goal. And then also realizing like a lot of things, they don't make me happy, you know, like, and I'm not being like cliche, but I always thought that like, if I can get this thing, or I can drive this kind of car, or live in this penthouse or whatever, I'm gonna be happy then. And it's like, no, like I learned that my true happiness comes from, you know, my family being good, healthy, you know, my relationship with my fiance. Whenever we're good, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like that stuff. It's like, I don't say it's meaningless, but from like 1 to 10, it's probably like a 5. You know, everything else is like to me a 10. Like if my grandma's not doing well, that is 10. You know, like her health, how she feels. My brother, who's in the other room, my best friend, who's in there. Like I said, my fiance. So it's like I just learned the perspective game is different, and like I want to share that with anybody. Like money matters and it is important, but as soon as you get it, it's like, oh shoot! Now everything that I when I didn't have money, all those things are important. Mm-hmm. It's a level 10. It's like the money becomes like a 5. You thought it would be 10, but it's like, oh no, it's cool. Like I love having money and being able to travel, but I don't want to travel by myself. So the money is
you gotta have the loved ones there, right? You gotta have the family and then the fiance, and man. But you know, we wish you could have you longer. But thank you for taking time to join us in this interview, man. And hopefully, when everything is great, we have you here in Manila. You have any message to all your Filipino fans and all your fans here in the Philippines?
I want to say one, thank you so much, Philippines, for listening to my music. Thank you for choosing me as your love symbol. And I pray that you all have amazing, amazing, amazing lives, and that you find beauty in every breath, and that I see you soon.
Hey, thank you very much, man. And we're excited for the album. We're excited for next year. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, give it up for Pink Sweat.
Monster exclusive interview only on Manila's hottest Monster